What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am back again for another video as I discuss the candidates for the new Huddersfield Town manager, of course, after the parting of ways of Danny Scoville that happened in the coming days. So yeah, I'm going to give my thoughts on it, and also I'll be revealing later on who I would like to come in as my number one choice, basically. So yes, stay tuned for that. But before we do start, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and comment your thoughts on who you would like to come in as manager, and yeah, what approach do you think the club should take with this? It'd be good to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So yeah, let's get going then. So the favourites, I'm going to go from top to bottom here. So the favourite for the job at the moment is, of course, the legend, the icon, the king, David Wagner. Of course, what he did last time for us was incredible. He'll always be a legend around these parts, and you know, he is very, very highly respected here in Huddersfield, of course. And I think it's certainly interesting, you know, obviously him becoming, you know, the favourite. I think there's pros and cons to this, really, if I'm honest with you, because I think that I'm more looking at the cons, really, because I feel like the pros, we know he's a very good manager, we know he can get, you know, the best out of players that, you know, that may be struggling at the moment, and you know, he's got that track record to back it up in terms of when he was with us. He did absolutely incredible, as we know. But I mean, the cons, I mean, if he did come back and then he didn't do so well, or maybe we got relegated, I just feel like, you know, his reputation may tarnish a little, and I don't really want that for him, because I think that, you know, what he did for us was unbelievable. And if I'm honest with you, I'm not really a big believer in bringing back managers that were ex-managers. I know that what this guy did was, like I say, unbelievable, but I still don't really think that is the approach the club should be making, if I'm honest with you. Now, I'm not saying, you know, I don't want to see him back at all. You know, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I'm not really a big fan of bringing back ex-managers, and yeah, but I wouldn't be unhappy to see him come in, let's put it that way. I wouldn't be complaining if he did come in, but I just think we have to look somewhere else, for those reasons that I kind of stated. Now, there has been a shift in the odds this morning, actually, in terms of, you know, odds. The odds have shortened, and Steven Schumacher is the latest name that has really come up the odds, kind of thing. And you know, he wasn't anywhere to be seen before today. Now, I mean, looking at his profile, obviously he's at Plymouth at the moment. He's a very young manager. Well, he's a young manager, sorry, upcoming, very highly regarded at Plymouth, and I think he's going to be very, very good, you know, manager in the future, and you know, and potentially getting bigger jobs in the future too. Do I think that he should come in? I'm not sure is the answer, unfortunately. I think that obviously with him being at a club already, I think that we need to be, personally, I feel like we need to be going down the route of of managers that are not proven yet, because otherwise you're having to pay out compensation, you know, to get them out of the contract at their own clubs. If you are getting one from, you know, the likes of Stephen, who is at Plymouth, do we really want to be doing that? I don't think we do need to be doing that either, because we've got other candidates that aren't in jobs that are more than capable to come in and do the job as well. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't personally go with Schumacher, if I'm honest. I just don't think he's the right man to take us forward. Now, third on the list is Anthony Barry, who is obviously he's been at Chelsea, and I think this guy is obviously out of work at the moment. Like I say, he was part of Chelsea's backroom team ahead of that 2020-21 season. He's taken on part-time roles coaching in international football. Firstly with the Republic of Ireland coaching staff before switching to Belgium. So he has got a bit of that, experience that people are going on about, which I will get onto in a minute, because I don't think experience is the be-all and end-all of who we should go for in this. It shouldn't be the determining factor, in my opinion. But yeah, Anthony Barry, would I like to see him? I wouldn't. I don't think he'd be a bad appointment, to be honest with you. But he isn't my number one choice. But I think he's a guy that he's yet to prove himself in a head coach role. So yeah, I think it wouldn't be a bad appointment. I wouldn't mind seeing him come in. But yeah, as I say, he's not my first choice. Then we've got Michael Carrick, of course, who obviously was at Manchester United as a player, but then obviously had a stint as caretaker manager at Man United in 2021. Admittedly, it was only for 3 matches. And then also he was assistant manager as well between 2018 and 2021 as well. So this guy, has got something to prove, because obviously he has the passion for coaching, and I think that I feel like he's ready for this opportunity. I really do. Not giving anything away for my choice of who I'd like to come in, but I do think he's got the pedigree. He's got what he achieved as a player as well, and he's a very passionate individual. I think he will get the best out of the players that we've got, and I think he'll come with a fresh set of ideas that will be really exciting, really. And yeah, I really do like this choice, which I will be revealing my preferred choice of manager very soon, but not yet. So that is what I will say. Now, obviously, we have got Duncan Ferguson as well on the short list. This is going outsiders now, really, but I've kind of covered the top 4 that are in the running at the moment. But yeah, Duncan Ferguson, another one that I wouldn't mind seeing coming in, to be honest with you, because I think that he obviously had a stint as assistant manager at Everton. He's also been in the academy at Everton as well. I think he's a very passionate individual. He'll come with a fresh set of ideas, and he won't be kind of scared to say how it is either. He comes across as one of those guys where he won't take any rubbish from anybody, and I think that's what you need sometimes. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him come in either. So there is a few names that I wouldn't mind see coming in, but obviously I have to narrow it down to my number 1 in a moment. Other names on there, Sean Dyche. We know what Sean Dyche is capable of. He's a great manager. What he did at Burnley, and the amount of time he was at Burnley as well. You don't stay at a club that long and not have something about you. So he's definitely a potential replacement. I wouldn't mind. It'd be good to see him come in as well, but we can only have one head coach, unfortunately. They're all good names, though, that are being linked. This is very promising for me. So yeah, as I was saying, though, I've seen dotted around the experience. We need to go for someone experienced because of the position we're in. I don't necessarily agree with that at all, because if you look at when David Wagner come in, he had no experience at all, but yet he was still able to produce what he did with the club. And I just feel like if you're good enough to be a manager, you're good enough. Sometimes, managers don't get opportunities until the right one comes along for them, and I think that's how you've got to read it. Unfortunately, I think that it is one of those. And then if you look at Carlos as well, Carlos came in, okay, was assistant at Leeds, and yeah, but he still didn't have any experience in the job as head coach. So I don't think you can play that. I don't think you can determine who you choose over experience, really. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna reveal my number one choice for the job now, and it is one that I feel will be the right fit for the club, and I think that this guy will come in and really hit the ground running, if I'm honest with you, and he's got a point to prove in terms of being a manager, and I think that he will thrive upon this challenge. So yeah, my choice for the manager to bring in the coming weeks is Michael Carrick, of course. I just think when I saw the names, admittedly, I felt like he was one of the ones that I looked at and thought, yeah, I think I'd like this appointment. And like I say, he's been learning at Old Trafford as well, with the coaches that are there. I just think he's a great fit for the job. I think he's got the pedigree, he's got the passion, he's got the drive. Like I say, he'll have his own ideas, and he's an exciting up-and-coming manager that's fairly new to the role. So, yeah, that is my choice. Like I say, but I think it'll certainly be interesting to see, how the shortlist kind of develops over the coming days. It can change rapidly, as we know. So yeah, just to clarify then, I think the club should be going down the route of someone that hasn't proven themselves as a manager yet, because I think that brings the excitement, and I think that brings the, and also if you're looking at it in another, I don't think, like I said, I also confirm that experience doesn't come into it either. I don't think we should be going for someone that's experienced just, it counts for nothing, really. I mean, that's proven with the likes of Carlos and David, who came in and did a fantastic job for us, and so yeah, that's the route I would take if I was in charge of this. Sadly, I'm not, but yeah, it is one of those. But yeah, so yeah, Michael Carricker's number one. I'd probably go with Duncan Ferguson as number two, and Anthony Barry as number three. I think them are the top three candidates for me that I wouldn't mind seeing coming in. So yeah, that is it from me, guys. It was a short video today, but I just wanted to come on and give my views on the of the new manager. Obviously, seeing who I felt like was going to come in and do a job. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button if you do like this video, and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 200 subscribers, so it would mean a lot to me if you could help me out in that one. And also, like I said earlier, comment your thoughts on who you think should become Huddersfield manager, or who you want to become Huddersfield manager. It'd be good to hear from you in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I will be back tomorrow for another video, as I do a preview for the game against Cardiff on Saturday afternoon at our home, the John Smith Stadium. So yeah, take care, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.